Hey everybody, this is Hogan Brown from Loon Outdoors, and today I'm going to show you how to tie one of my favorite patterns, Hogan's Yuba Pupa. This is a pattern I developed on my home water, the lower Yuba River here in Northern California. It's a pretty basic caddis pattern, but one that's incredibly versatile, depending on what hook you tie it on and what color you tie it in. For today, I'm going to show you how to tie it on a basic jig hook with a tungsten bead, but you can also tie this on any stout wire scud hook or caddis pupa hook. For my home waters, I spend a lot of time tying it on a 2488 heavy. That way it's got a nice straight eye and I can swing the fly. I can fish it under a elk hair caddis as a dropper, or I can fish it in a big heavy nymph rig. It is a great caddis pupa pattern that fishes all over the West during a variety of caddis hatches. To start off with, we're going to use a Firehole 5/16 in a size number 12. Now you can tie this in anywhere from a 12, 14, 16, or 18. And I will be adding for this fly a fairly large slotted tungsten bead. Okay. Now you again can change the size of the bead, change the size of the hook for anything that you have going on. The size of the pupa, the size of bead can get the fly deeper, whatnot. So I'm going to start with just black 8/0 thread. And I'll work that back just a little bit around the bend. Now this is not a traditional scud hook, but as you'll see, if we incorporate a little bit of that back bend, once we put the fly together, you'll get a little natural look of that bend that we kind of associate with a caddis pupa. For the rib, I'm going to use ultra wire, small copper brown, one of my favorite colors. And the reason I use a dark color is we're going to put this dark color over a lighter color of dubbing. And it's going to give that look of segmentation. If you look at any segmented caddis pupa, the valleys in that segmentation are usually darker than the peaks. For dubbing, I'm going to use basic wool head dubbing in tan from Hairline, but any tan dry fly dubbing or kind of dubbing that you can really mat down and use to shape that conical body of the pupa will work. And one thing as you do this is to shape that conical body using the dubbing. Layering it, getting that nice kind of taper to it will give the illusion of an arched or scud style hook. And you can already see it taking that up, especially when that area that you tie around the bend is the thinner part of the taper. Give yourself a little bit in there, about 2/3 of the way up. Then I'm going to take that wire and palmer that wire around. You can see those nice dark pits in that pupa. Going to give it that nice segmentation. Tie off the wire. Then I take a little bit of buggy nymph dubbing in olive, Mercer's, Paxton's, whatever you have laying around. It's roughly the same blend, and just give a little loose twist. Okay, then I'm going to take that and just pin it back. Nothing too big. And then I'm going to take one strand, or actually 2 strands, of crystal UV crystal flash. This is the UV, so it's got those nice little shades of purple in it. I'm going to take it, fold it in half, and set it right on top of that fly. Just tie it in. Trim it. You can actually set those trimmings aside. You can use them if you're going to tie the next one. Then I'll take those two and kind of split them a little bit. Not too much, just a little. Not side, but just kind of quarter the top. Then I'm going to take two Prince Knit Brown biots. Use that natural curve and curve it in. I'm going to tie it with the point out right to the side of the hook. Kind of pull them in a little bit. You don't want it too long. These are just subtle little wing buds coming out the side of the fly. Right to the side. If you've ever seen a caddis pupa swim into the surface, they got those wings kind of hanging out the side. Take those, trim it. Then I'm going to take some more of just the olive or the caddis olive dubbing that we used before and just almost just set it on the fly and spin it. Okay? Kind of a poor man's dubbing loop if you want to think of it that way. Pin all those fibers back, and so you get this kind of olive coming over the tan, and you get that two-tone look. Next, I'm going to use some olive brown buggy nymph. This is the next darkest color in the kind of line of olive. I'm going to do the same thing. Just set it there, pin it back, give the next one a little tighter twirl. And again, pin it back, center that bead up. And then you can see you have this nice pupa with that dubbing coming over it. Next, I'm going to take two strands of just peacock curl. You can very well use black dubbing if you want. Anything. I like adding peacock to any trout fly, I think. At least increases my confidence in it. Take those two strands, palmer them around. Give it a nice head. Tie them off. Trim the excess. And then tie that fly off. Then with this crystal flash, I'm going to come in right underneath those tips of dubbing and clip it so it's just this nice little flash right underneath. And that's Hogan's Yuba Pupa. You can tie it in a whole menagerie of colors on a whole menagerie of hooks to really fit your nymphing, dry dropper, swinging, or your own nymph style that you're fishing. I'm Hogan Brown from Loon Outdoors. Have a great day.